Umpteen Zoom calls with the staff and ringing players, seeing how they're getting on at their clubs, and watching a lot of games. That's for sure. It's been really hectic, and initially we had that friendly game against Slovenia in September, and the amount of twists and turns with regarding that game, where it was on, it was off. Then we were going to play them in Italy, and then it was off again. Then Finland came into the equation. Hungary came into the equation. So, and obviously everybody knows they've been postponed, and the next best thing is a training camp with the players, and it's a huge training camp. It's an important training camp in terms of getting our ideas across to the players. What we want going forward from the group. It's the group meeting the staff, vice versa, and really looking forward to it. But it has been a challenge, in these difficult times.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago that Stephen Kenny stepped up to be the senior manager a little bit early, and you were appointed the under-21 boss. How did that process work for you, and how happy and proud are you to be the under-21 manager?
Yeah, exceptionally proud. It was it happened so quick, and I had to have a social distance meeting with Stephen, and he told me what he's looking to do, and he said to me about the 21s job, and obviously I was so proud, and it's it's massive for me and my family. But straight away the work started, and I got down to it the next day, contacting players and watching games. But what I really liked about the whole thing is the continuity between the senior team and the 21s, where we're sort of an extension to the senior staff. Myself, John O'Shea, Alan Reynolds, Renee Gilmartin, Martin Doyle, all part of the technical staff. So we're an extension to the senior group, and I'm looking forward, going forward, working with them, and they can help us, we can help them on many different fronts.
3 games left in the campaign, and that's the purpose of this few weeks ahead, I suppose, to get ready for those matches. Looking at the group, Ireland with 7 games played and 16 points. The campaign's been so successful so far. The style of play has been really exciting for all of us to watch, and I'm sure you're hopeful to try and continue that for the last 3 qualifiers.
Without a doubt, we the very first sort of meeting with Stephen and Keith at the time, and it was Dan Connors was our goalkeeping coach at our very first home-based meeting, and Steve would put it on the table. This is the way he wants to play, and we built on it going forward with regards principles, getting those principles across to the players, and in no certain terms, Stephen has said the same with the 21s. He wants the whole thing carrying on as it was. Seems like a long time ago, that's for sure, but the players have enjoyed the style of play, the system of play, call it what you want, and you look at the likes of where Conor Masterson is, and Darragh O'Shea, we're all fantastically proud of them, and I definitely do think, I'm only naming those 2, but I could go through the whole squad, how they've come on leaps and bounds through, the style of play and the encouragement that they've been given from the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's a really interesting squad, and some players are with Stephen in the senior group, who I'm sure you would have loved to have. Other players are in the squad, like Michael Obafemi, who's very disappointed he's not in the senior squad. You've got 7 players based here in the League of Ireland as well. How would you, I suppose, explain how you pick the squad and the balance that you have in it, with players from the Premier League, Championship, some further afield and some playing here at home?
How we pick it is the best players possible that's available to you, and it was, what we had, as I said earlier on in the interview, we had numerous Zoom calls with the staff, and we were going through everybody. I tasked the staff to go and look at 3 or 4 players and come back with their findings, and we got together and we decided, okay, what's best for this 21s group. And you mentioned Michael Obafemi, and without a doubt he's disappointed, but you got to say it shows he cares. He's a real talent. Delighted to have him in the squad. everybody knows he's quick, he's strong, and he'll definitely be a huge asset with the 21s. The home based players, I think, when I say home base, the lads playing in the domestic league, they're all worthy of a call up because they're exceptional players, and I think we should be screaming from the rooftops over here that you've got 7 players involved in an under 21s group, and it just shows A, how good they are, and B, how well they're coached at their clubs, and that's really important to us. And as you say, the championship, you go through it, Jack Taylor, since our last camp, which was in November, has moved to Peterborough for £500,000, and he's been excellent with them since he's played, and we're looking forward to meeting him again and getting on the grass with all the players and embedding our ideas going forward.
Italy, Iceland and Luxembourg, the 3 final matches in the qualifiers. I suppose what the last few months has given you is lots of time, albeit probably at home or on Zoom meetings, to be able to watch these teams and assess them, even though you faced them in the group before. What's the assessment of the task of those 3, particularly the match against Italy feels like a big match if the team wants to try and qualify?
Yeah, well, first of all, before we went into that, we concentrated on Slovenia, and the amount of work as a staff we put into Slovenia, and for that to be taken away from us was a little bit disappointing. But going forward, Italy, they're an exceptional team. They're number 1 seeds in the group. They're full of star-studded players. I think Bastoni played in the Europa League final there the other day for Inter Milan, and that's the calibre of player they have. They also have players in their group such as Moise Keane and Couture with Wolverhampton Wanderers, where they were capped at senior level, so it's no problem for them jumping back down representing their country. So that's the task against Italy. They're world class, and it's another opportunity for us to show Europe and the world how good our players are. Beforehand we played against Brazil, Brazil's under 22 or under 23s team, and for me, with my experience at international football, they were probably the best team I've come up against with, and the lads were fantastic. The Aaron Conleys, the Dara Leahys, and they were fantastic that day. And that, again, going back, I'm only naming 2 players out of everybody who took part in that game were outstanding. So Italy's going to be a serious test. Then you've got Iceland, who, big, physical, well organised team. We know all about them. They've, Good Johnson up top. He's a very good centre forward. He's got a lot of midfield players who are, they're athletic, they're quick, and they go up and support them quite quickly, where they'll drop off and try to catch you on that counter attack. But it'll be a different game for us, that's for sure, to the Italy one. And last but not least, Luxembourg, they'll provide problems. I've no doubt about it. They'll probably drop deep and be hard to break down. But these are all challenges that will help develop the players, and hopefully will give us an opportunity to go get positive results and qualify for the under-21s finals.
Thanks, Jim. Best of luck.
Thanks, Amanda.
Okay, Jim, just looking at qualification, do you still think that 2 wins over Iceland and Luxembourg might be enough?
I'll be honest with you, we're just concentrating on Italy, and that's why this camp is so important, that we get everybody. It's been last November since we've been together, so getting them on this training camp and just concentrating firstly about ourselves, working on our principles, how we want to play with the ball, without the ball, and what have you, and also sort of little bits of bite-sized information about Italy. But when they come into camp in October, that's our only focus. So, not being sort of boring with the answer, but our first sort of task ahead is Italy. So, we got to prepare for that. And for me, I think it would have been criminal in a September window to have nothing and just to turn up with new staff, new players getting brought in for a game against the number one seeds of the group, I think it's criminal, but thankfully through hard work with Alan Bourne and other people in the association, we got this green light for this camp.
We've never qualified before for an under-21 finals. What would it mean to you and to the squad to qualify?
I spoke to all the players about that, and it'd be, a huge achievement. Not only for me, but for the players. I think for them to be given a platform to show people how good they are, I think would be brilliant for them. It'd be an experience that they'll never forget. And I think looking at the bigger picture, the coaches who have worked with these players, whether it was League of Ireland, schoolboy coaches, would give them immense pride of seeing their players on this European stage. So the effect it'd have for football as a whole would be unbelievable for this country.
Will Smallbone has been very impressive in the Premier League for Southampton. Do you think he could become a key member for the Italy game and other games?
No doubt about it. I had Will with the under-18s, and he didn't play as long as he wanted with the under-18s, but how he's developed since then has been fantastic. He's a great fella. The way he plays, he's been playing on the right-hand side more often with Southampton, the right-hand side of midfield, and he can find those pockets of space. He's very clever, can use both feet. He's athletic, sees passes, and also look, he showed on his debut, he scored in an FA Cup game for Southampton. So he's a very, very talented player, and his mum hails from Kilkenny, so he's very proud of that too. So I can't wait to get working with him again, because ultimately he's a great fella with enormous potential.
Finally, Conor Ronan, he's moved to Switzerland now. Do you think the influence of players, he's already played in Slovakia, the players playing on the continent, will that influence the squad and the style of play?
Well, Conor Ronan, he's as you said, he was in Slovakia, came back to Blackpool, watched him playing there at Blackpool. He was excellent, and this is another real challenge for him, going to a really big club, Grasshoppers, Zurich, and the continental game will suit him. He's a fantastic fella. He's with enormous potential, and I really do hope it goes well for him. He's made his debut last night in a game, so hopefully he's come through that all right, and he's able to take part next week. But I think everybody knows he's been through all the different age groups coming up, and he's been exceptional, and somebody again who I look forward to working with.
Jim, firstly, congrats on the job. It's the first time I've seen you since you've been promoted to the manager, so congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Just regards to the squad, I'm just looking here, and you're even looking at the goalkeepers. There's such a depth. If Kelleher, Bazunu, McGinty, and then you move into defence, midfield, forwards. There's just an array of talent, and you've already probably been taken away a couple of players there with Troy, Adam, and so on. You must be delighted with the crop of players that are coming through and the work that's being done. I know you helped, bring those players through as well, but you must be delighted with the array of talent coming through.
Yes, look, a lot of credit, as I said earlier on, has got to go to coaches that these players have been with, whether it's over here in Ireland or over in the UK, and also to the players themselves having that drive and determination to become the best players that they possibly can. I'm delighted with the talent. You look at Aaron Conley's gone to the seniors, Troy Parrott, Adam Ida, and Jason Malumbi, and I couldn't be happier. I really, honest to God, I couldn't be happier, because they're great lads with unbelievable talent, and they deserve their call-up. What it does do, it gives an opportunity for other players to come in, and believe me, that the squad that we picked, we worked hard getting the squad together, but there's others that have been left out that there were marginal decisions, players that have been doing really well at club level and what have you. So there's decent talent coming through, and we got to be happy with that. But it's something that I've always, even when I was with the 18, saying there is talent coming through, and I know we've been knocked many times before where people said that there isn't, who's coming through and what have you. But now you've seen the ability of Aaron Conley, at Brighton. You know, you've seen Adamida playing Premiership games at Norwich. Jason Malumbi, how he conducted himself and how well he played at Millwall. So, you know, the future is bright.
Just one other thing, obviously Stephen spoke about when he was under 21 manager, kind of having to adapt when, say, players like Aaron Connolly got plucked from the 21s up to the senior team. So that's something you're ready to approach if needs be.
Yeah, I think my role is to help develop players, and if I see players getting pushed up to the senior team, I'll be delighted. But it's also about qualifying for tournaments, because on those type of stages, that's where you see a real increase in development of players playing against top class opposition, and that's what's needed for our players, qualifying for tournaments. But again, the other side of the job is players getting through, and as I said, be more than happy with the likes of Jason and those three strikers getting promoted to the senior team.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much and best of luck now.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.